Here it is. RAID. Right. It is showing RAID movie. Okay, what it is? Redundant array of independent disk or a inexpansive disk. Redundant array of independent disk or a inexpansive disk. Okay, two definitions are there. So if someone said no, it's not independent, it is inexpansive, see the Google, see the textbook and all. So both the ways from our ancient computer technologies wise. So RAID full form. Ajay Devgan movie. Okay. Even I don't know which that can get. I said full form. I put a full movie. Okay, redundant array of independent disk or a inexpansive disk. Okay, inexpansive disk and independent disk. There is a two type of RAIDs are there. RAID has a actually two types. One is hardware RAID. Another one is software RAID. Okay, we do software RAID only. We don't do hardware RAID. We means we are only. But in industry they use hardware RAID. What is this hardware RAID? There is a RAID controller is there. So for example, this is your motherboard or something like this. Uh, okay, you have a motherboard and on motherboard they will put a RAID controller. Some are enhanced in the motherboard, like if you take any server motherboard, on the server motherboard we directly RAID controller chip is there. Some put an extra card for RAID. What is this RAID? It will combine the disk hardware level, means BIOS level only we can configure the RAID. It is a purely machine based. Okay, so this is a hardware RAID, like you can see these thing machines. Okay, so we can insert the disk and we can tell like this. Okay, this is nowadays we are getting in a box wise, so like that we can use directly insert the disk and we can configure the RAID levels, and also we have to verify what type of RAID level it will support. The RAID means is for a storage purpose only, like this. Okay, so you can see very big ones, just like this is a RAID controller and connecting multiple disks. Okay, like we can use it. Next one is software RAID. Software RAID means by application. Software RAID means using some application or a operating system wise we can able to create a RAID levels. Okay, we can able to deal with the disk and RAID levels. And somewhere I see in the software RAID. Also you can type what is the difference between software RAID and hardware RAID. So now software RAID is PC based. In a PC we can able to create our own RAID levels thing. Okay, operating system wise or a application. So there are some applications may support for a software RAID. So RAID has levels. That is called the RAID levels. RAID has a levels. What are the levels? RAID 0. Okay, RAID 1, RAID 2, RAID 3, RAID 4, like that. So RAID 1, RAID 5. Most used RAIDs are these levels only. And there is a combination levels also there. RAID 10, RAID 50, combination of RAID 0, RAID 1 is a RAID 1 0. Combination of RAID 5, RAID 5 and RAID 0 is a RAID 5 0. Like a combination levels also available. Okay. What is this RAIDs? What is this RAID levels? We'll see that one. This is my paint. Okay. Already we discussed one thing, that is what is a basic disk and a dynamic disk, right? So where is the basic disk and dynamic disk? Here it is. Basic disk is a, like a for a single disk type only. Basic disk is a single disk. We can create a partitions, we can put operating system, and only for single disk. Like if you take single disk and we can create a partitions. Logically we are dividing a basic disk into small partitions, right? Dynamic disk dynamic disk is not for creating a partitions, here creating volumes. It means when you want to combine one or two physical, you want to combine two or more physical disk logically and create a huge volume, so that time this the disk must be dynamic disk. Okay, so in a RAID we use all our dynamic disk only in a RAID. So what type of disk we have to use? Dynamic disk. For this dynamic disk we use it. Okay, we'll come to one by one. So this is a disk and this is also disk. For example, I have a disk. The disk size is, for example, here is a 1 terabyte disk. This is a 1 TB disk. Okay, I write inside, so space will go. This is 1 terabyte of disk. This is 1 terabyte of disk. Just for example only I'm taking. There are a lot of scenario based different way we can do it. If we discuss all the things, it is will. This is a disk. This is disk, and this is the disk one. Name of the disk is disk one. Name of the disk is disk two. I have a two disk are there. Okay. Now 1 terabyte is about to complete. I put a data. For example, I have a for example, this is a D drive. So many Ds are open. So I put a E drive. My E drive is my 1 terabyte of disk is there, or disk space is there. Okay. So it is about to complete. Now I need a more. I need a more space. So I can't remove 1 terabyte and keep a 2 terabyte. So again, very less space only will get it. It is cost effective like that. Okay. So I need to expand my 1 terabyte to 2 terabyte. So how to expand my disk from one physical disk to another physical disk? Make it as a single volume. Make it as a single volume like this. Like this. I combining this disk 1 and disk 2 and make it as a single volume. So earlier E drive is 1 terabyte. Now E drive become 2 terabytes. Understand? Earlier it is E drive is a 1 terabyte. I combined with another physical disk, then the total volume of E drive is a 2 terabyte. So this we call it as a RAID 0. This we call it as a RAID 0. And also there is a name for this RAID 0 is called stripped volume. Okay. Also there is a name called stripped volume. So here again I am going to my text. So RAID 0. What is it? It's a stripped volume. Okay, what is a stripped RAID 0 volume? So we can combine two or more disks together and make as a single volume. But there is a one flaw is there here. If any disk failure, you can use more than two disks also. If any disk is failure, okay, total data loss. So you lost all the data. Okay, any disk failure, total data loss means we can't access the data. Okay? So better I will write here only by this volume. You can use two or more disks, okay, combined it become, so two or more disks combined, it become single volume, that is called a stripped volume. Okay, then there is another type of volume is there, but a stripped volume, this right level is stripped volume. Okay, so one or two disks we can able to combine and make it as a single large volume. Okay, the size is also combined. If but problem is if single disk failure, if any disk failure, any at least one disk, any one disk failure, okay, so we can't access the data. Okay, so actually say total data loss. Actually say total data loss. So we can't access the available disk space also. So this is the stripped RAID 0. Next, what is the RAID 1? Okay, I'm taking a 2 disk only. Again, this is 1 terabyte, and this is also 1 terabyte. This is a disk 1. This is disk 2, and I combine these two disks. Okay, and the resultant disk space means, for example, before I do this is a E drive. The E drive size is 1 terabyte. Okay, so okay, now combine the two disks and the resultant is also 1 terabyte. Okay, so this type of volume we call it as a RAID 1. What is the advantage? I will tell. RAID 1. So this is also called as mirror disk. Mirror means if what are the data I keep it. Okay, so what are the data I keep it here. For example, I put a here. Same A will be written in another disk. If I put a data B here, this same data. So we don't know where we are keeping data, but when you put a data in E drive, so automatically data is in both the drives. Same data maintained in both the drives. This is what are the data is in this one. Same data is available in another disk. So what is the advantage of this one is if I lost one of the disk, still I can able to access the data. Okay, it is also called as single disk failure without parity. Without parity. Okay. So what is this parity and all? So we'll see this one. RAID 5 parity. So RAID 5, RAID 6 use a parity. That's why it is RAID 5 parity. Oh, it is slow. Okay, so we'll wait for that one later. So what is this RAID 1? RAID 1 we call it as a mirror disk. Okay, called as a mirror volume or a mirror disk. So here we use only two disk only. So we use only two disk. So combination of two disk combined will make a single volume. So two disks combined make it as a single volume, but total size as a disk volume only. The volume should be same. So this volume. Example, if I take 1 TB plus 1 TB equal to 1 TB only. So what is the advantage of that one? Okay. What is the advantage of this one? If any disk failure, it is called as a single disk failure without parity. There is no parity things. So if any disk fail, when it is fail, we can access data. Can access the data. Okay. But there is a disadvantages are there. So what is the disadvantage in disk failure? So example, so both are having a data, no problem, so that is good. But if one disk is failure, for example, this disk is failure, this disk is working, data is accessible, no problem. Now what happened? I removed this disk, I removed this disk, I repair the disk, I reinsert the new disk or a old disk. If I insert a new disk, okay, I replace the disk. So what I have to write? So I have to replace the disk, right? If I replace the disk with a new disk or same disk, okay, remove the disk and replace the disk again. So automatically what happened? The mirror will broke. The mirror will be broke. So again it becomes separate. Like this is E drive, this is become F drive automatically. So mirror won't get it. So mirror again we have to create from the starting only. Okay. So that is the problem. So what is this? So we are losing a 50% of total size, total volume, total size. We are losing loss of 50% of total size. And another one is there. What is that? When a disk fails and disk replace with new or same disk, what happen? Mirror broke. That is the broke spelling. A lot of brokes are there. Everything is same. Correct only. Uh, that's what I did. That's why it broke. Okay. So mirror will broke. Understand when a disk failures, disk replaced with a new disk. What happened? Mirror broke. Again, it becomes separate disk. That is a big problem with the mirror. But it is very good. Mirror is break or broke. Okay. You can use. I use now break. BRE. Okay. Mirror breaks. Okay. So that is main important of your RAID 1. Okay. So what is a RAID 5? What is a RAID 5? So RAID 5 and RAID 6 are both are similar, but only is number of disks is a change. So in a RAID 5 we use 3 disk. Okay, so we use a 3 disk in a RAID 5. So 1, 2, 3 disk we are using. Okay, so each disk, like for example, disk 1, disk 2, disk 3, 3 disk, 1 terabyte, 1 terabyte, 1 terabyte, 3 disk. Okay, so total combination, so the total combination of the 3 disk is 2 terabyte. It means 2 by 3 disk size you will getting. You will get 2 by 3 total disk space you are getting. So this is called a RAID 5. What is the use of this RAID 5? It is also a single disk failure. If any one of the disk is failed, for example, this disk is failed, still no problem, we can able to access the data. What it is? Single disk failure. If any of the disk is failure, still no problem, we can able to access the data. Next, we are getting total size is a 2 by 3rd of total size we are getting here. Second. Next, it is with parity. Single disk failure with a parity. What is this parity now? So here, when you have a disk and this is a another disk, when you put a data here, for example, I put a data A and data A parity bit stores in this disk. If I put a data B here, the data B parity bit stores in another disk. Similar thing will happen. For example, we have a 3 disk are there now. So here parity A parity, B parity. For example, I put a data C, then C parity stores here and as well as here. So if any disk is failure, if any disk is failure and I remove the disk, and I reinsert the new disk or a same disk, what happen? Data is regenerated to the disk. This data will be regenerated back to this disk. So previously this disk means the placement of this disk. What are the disk is there? 3 disk are there. One disk is failure. I remove the disk and insert a new disk. One disk is failure. I remove the disk and I insert the new disk. So now what happened? That new disk, inside a new disk, the data will be regenerated from the other disk because of parity. That is a parity. That is called parity. So that is the advantages of RAID over a mirror. RAID over a mirror advantage is in a mirror 50% of total size we are not able to use it, like one two disk we are using, one disk size we are getting. Okay, and next one is if one disk is failure, I replace with a new disk or a same disk, what happen? The mirror is breaks or brokes. We can use past tense, present tense, whatever it is. Okay, so mirror will be broke. Again we have to configure mirror from starting. So that is the one. Next, in a RAID is actually enterprise solution. Okay, enterprise solution is RAID 5 only. Next, we are using 3 disk, 2 by 3rd of total disk space we are getting. For example, if you use 2 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 2 terabyte, total space you are getting 4 terabyte space. 2 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 2 terabyte. Total you are getting 4 terabyte. 2 terabyte you lost. Means 2 by 3rd only. 4 terabyte, 4 terabyte, 4 terabyte you are using. So 8 terabytes you are getting. Understand? So like that much space only you are getting. If you are using here 2 terabyte, 2 terabyte, you get 2 terabyte only. 4, 4, 4 only you are getting. Equal sizes only we have to take. Okay. Next. So if you one of the disk is failure, this disk is failure, and I replace with a new disk. I replace with a new disk. No problem. Using this parity bits, it regenerate. Other disk will regenerate the data to this one. Okay. Next. If two disks are failure, so possible, right? If one disk is failure and second disk is also failure, means total data loss. Okay, so we can't regenerate the data generally. Okay, So compulsory two disk are there. So this is called a RAID 5. RAID 5 name is RAID 5 only. It is a enterprise solution. Okay. And important is writes are not replacement of backups. Not replacement of backups. It is a enterprise solution. How many disks we use? We have to use 3 disks. Use 3 disks in this one. Next. So 3 disks combine disk this disk 3 disks combine it give 2 by 3. Okay, 2 by 3 of so what I have written. So 3 disks combined we are using a single volume. So here so total size we are getting 2 by 3. Here we got 2 by 3 of total size. I don't I can give notes from other place, but like directly I will tell a notes, or maybe drawing wise I can give a notes, but I never give a notes like this. Maybe your batch is a more I start giving things. Earlier batch is also not there. Not much. Last year batch is very less. I'm putting up files, but only names. It's not even that much notes. So it's an enterprise solution. 3 disks we are using. 3 disks combined will create a single volume. Total size we are getting 2 by third of 2 by 3 of total size we are getting, and it is a single disk failure. Single disk failure with parity. Single disk failure with a parity. With a parity. Okay. So that is the one. So if any any one disk fails, we can access data. So you don't need to wait for all the things. Next. Okay. If you replace failed disk with new or same means after repairing, usually like okay replace um breaks, it won't break. Not only it won't break, not only breaking, it will regenerate data in new disk. It regenerated data in the disk. Regenerate the data. It won't break, and it regenerates the data after replacement. Replace disk. Okay, so that is a thing. But why still mirror is there? Mirror for a small organization, self purpose. For example, I have a desktop, very important data is there, I have a desktop, so my office work is going on, or maybe important project files are there. Any chance disk is failure, so what I have to do, immediately you can get it from the backup, right? So what I am doing, so I put a 2 disk and I make it as a mirror between 2 disks. You can do mirroring and stripping in a normal machines also, but don't do it in your personal laptop currently. But if you have a desktop or laptop kind of stuff, like 1 TB is there, you can do mirroring between both the things. If one of the disk is failure, no problem. Second disk as a data. So for example, our Pune office, we have a disk is there. One second, guys. First of all, I want to shut down this server, so then I will start the server again. Okay, I have a work with the server. So RAID we should configure in a server only. Okay, I'm shutting down the server. Okay, so in our Pune office, two times the disk is failure. So one time, Charan sir thought something I installed because of that installation is failure, but actually the disk is poor quality. It is very new disk. Old disk are working good. The new disk they given a very poor quality. That is disk is failure. Next time also disk is failure. Okay, so I told like we can do mirroring, but we are a shortage of disk. So Charan sir said better you can put a, we are not having a more data, so better to sync with the Google Drive. So we don't have any 10 GB, 20 GB disk, so we can sync with the there. So mirror is for a small organizations or a single desktop purposes. It is mirror is suitable in a certain condition. Okay, into that very simple solution. Mirror is cost is very less, and to only two disks we are using only for basic protection. So just don't give a chance to lose the data. That is for a mirror. And another one is what is the another one? RAID is enterprise solutions. You have to use three disk, means one system should connected with minimum of three disk. First is we should use three disk. Second one is like 2 by third of disk space only working. Okay, and it is like for enterprise lot of data is there, and the data is always should be accessible. Normal personal maybe or may not be like anything happens maybe later, but in enterprises it is not like that. And so compulsory data is we are storing the data and also we are accessing the data, right? So compulsory 24 hours data access available. So when you are remove the disk, means when disk is failed you remove the disk, you reinsert the disk, new disk. So problem is, what is the problem when you are replacing with a new disk?
Bro,
Okay, so again it will regenerate the data from parity bits and your data is safe. So again you know to fight for a mirror broking and all kind of stuff. So that is the advantage of RAID 5. Okay, so we'll see how to do practically RAID 0, RAID 1, RAID 5. Of course RAID 6 is there now. So RAID 6 is also there, sorry. RAID 6 use 5 disk. RAID 6 use 5 disk. Last time one person asked me one question, last batch thing. So one or two times I got the same question. So which one is better? So which one is better? We can't tell like that. Okay, which one is better? We can't tell it. Right 5, right 6. Who will use it and all? So thing is, depends upon your enterprise, what type of solution they need it, what type of solution is necessary, how much budget they can able to put it on it. So based on that, for example, I am a startup company, very small software IT company with 10 employees are there. So I will go with the mirroring only because RAID 5 is very costly and RAID 5 feature not there in a normal operating systems, right? So I need a server, hardware or operating system wise like a software or hardware, but we need a server related cost increases, and swappability means SCSI kind of stuff we have to plan it. Okay, so it depends upon budget and all is required. Okay, these are five disk are there. Disk 1 is a 1 terabyte, disk 2, disk 3, okay, disk 4, all are 1 terabyte of it. So your total here it is, I want to tell one I am telling for a making is a very small, so I told about 1 terabyte only. Okay, but it is 1 terabyte of free space. Actually it is a 1 terabyte of free space. Of course I example I forget here, what is that? 1 TB plus 1 TB plus 1 TB. How much TB it is? 2 TB. Okay. Now, so I have a disk. It is a 4 terabyte of disk, but I have a 1 terabyte of free space, unallocated space. That also we can use it here. But I'm not going to put that one again. It will clumsy. So 5 disk we are using. It is 2 disk failure type. It is a 2 disk failure type. 2 disk failure type. So 5 disk I'm using. So 2 disk failure, still we can able to access data with the parity. It is parity is also there. RAID 6 also having a parity. Okay. So 5 disk we are using. 2 disk failure. It means 3 by 5 total disk space we are getting. Same as RAID 5. If you replace any disk with a new disk, if failure disk you replace with a new disk, what will happen? What will happen? Data will be regenerated into that particular disk. So we'll go to that RAID 5. uh, RAID 6. RAID 6 name is RAID 6 only. This is also a enterprise solution. Here we use a 5 disk. Okay, so the it is a 2 disk failure type with parity. But practically we can do one up to 5 only. So 2 disk failure with a parity we can able to create. So we'll get a 3 by 5 of total size we can able to access. Example, so be lazy because we don't have a time also. So totally 5 days we'll get a 3 terabyte. So same as with the parity means any disk failure and can access data. Next, if you replace all are same as RAID 5 only, this is the difference. Okay, so okay, how to do this in a practical way, guys? I need a at least 15 minutes. You have to be patient. Okay, this is a server. Okay, this is a server. I turn off the server. Okay, so better to turn off. If you don't turn off also, it's okay. So I'm going to edit virtual machine settings. Already 60 GB hard disk is there. It is a SSD hard disk and I went directly RAID. Okay, no problem. So tomorrow, okay, we'll see tomorrow remaining. For today this is enough because it's a very important. Everything is important. You don't need to ask question specifically in a right kind of stuff. And real time means like your working environment is also important. So I went to edit virtual machine settings. This is one disk already there. I want to add a 3 disk. One disk I will leave for a OS. I'm adding 3 disk here. Click on add. So hard disk. Next, I select SCSI disk. I will explain these things. IDE. I actually before I start this ride, I want to start that one, but suddenly I started this one. No problem. You can complete the practical by tomorrow. So ID type of disk is there. SATA, NEME means it is SSD, SCSI disk. Create a new volume. Next, you want a 60 GB or any other GB. So I put a 100 GB for this practical. So I choose 100 GB. I remove 60. I and select this one. I put 100 GB. Store virtual disk as a single disk file. That's it. Don't select the allocated all space now is there now. Don't select it. Only 100 GB. Select this one. Single file. That's it. Don't click any other things. Next. Okay, automatically it saves in our main folder only, so no need to worry about it. So it gives some name. If you got a problem, then only we have to search for that. Again, add. Again 100 GB added. See, again I'm going to add. When I click on add, again this add hardware wizard, hard disk, you can add extra network adapters also if you want it. If you want to add a printer port also, you can add it, no problem. SCSI, selecting SCSI type, new virtual hard disk. Next, put it 100 GB and single file. Next. So I inserted a two disk here. Two disk are inserted. Next. Again, hard disk. Next, SCSI. Next, first one. Next, put it 100. Single file. Next, finish. Now, three disks are completed. If you want four, also you can go. No problem. But I closed it or I done right. What happened? I added a disk. I have to click on OK instead of OK. I close it. That is. So I'm powering off. Better do in a power off mode is always better. In power on mode also you can add it. Okay, but recently I found it's not much. It's easy, but what happening? It's taking a snapshot types. But we should not do mistakes, guys. We already seen how to do it. Okay, so I'm going to create again hard disk SCSI. First option 100 GB. It is creating new one. So why it is creating new one? No, no, no. Okay, use existing. So browse. Already I created. I use that one. System slow. Again, this magnifier is shaking. So downloads. It's in my H drive. In my folder. This is the one. 0. -0. This is the one. I created a disk, but instead of clicking OK, I put a this cancel directly. So how it's become a hobby. Disk. Already I created a disk. So see, when I said it is very easy, then it is taking time. 1 1. It is not showing. Yeah, here it is showing. Okay, 3 disks are added. It is not showing a size here. Maybe it will show later, but it is there. Click OK. Now it will add. So see, 3 disks are added. So now power on the virtual machine. I can increase the size of the machine also to faster, but I didn't increase my RAM. Okay, so like this. Okay, when we go to the virtualization part, that time I will show you the network virtualization and other virtualization. It's a theory, understanding, practicals, Hyper-V also I will show you. Okay, that till that time we need this server. After that one you can delete if you want it. Next, guys, if possible, not now, maybe Monday, Tuesday. So currently complete what are the practical I showed you today, and for tomorrow, so maybe after I showed a practical, or maybe um, before that one. So try to create one more, means already you have one Linux, add one more Linux, minimal or a full, anything, no problem. Full has some properties, but you can use two minimals. Okay, and already I told people who cannot able to offer more machines, two machines cannot able to run, not Linux, Windows, Windows Server, Windows Client. If still anybody having a pending because of any reasons, please tell me. Okay, I know some are completed, but I don't know a lot of people whether other people's are completed or not. Some are completed, some are telling. So some issues and all, based on that I will understand. But others I don't know. Okay. Tomorrow I will tell one list. Okay. Monday, everybody, everyone. So again tomorrow I will tell that one. Okay. So everyone put a list like what practicals so far you completed, and why you are unable to complete a particular practical, and what is any other necessity things you required for my from my side or in organization side or idea. So you can ask. Okay. So I need that list on Monday. So tomorrow you can prepare it. So I'm logging to my server. It is taking more than required time, but I want to complete it. If I do, then you can do easily. Lot of people left. Well, I don't know why people are leaving in the evening. Either it is power cut, internet. You can understand. If you feel very bored in this situation, you know, I took a one class called SCVMM. Don't worry, it is still opening. Okay, SCVMM and SCAC. Next point is SCAC, private cloud related one. Okay, for a few batches, I learn also. I took almost 1 week. The classes I attended in Bangalore from my institute only, CMS. Okay. Um, okay, I went to Hyderabad to Bangalore. I attend the classes from there. It's a Hyper-V with SCCM. You know how many machines you have to install, like this. This is a domain controller. This is one Hyper-V machine. This is another Hyper-V. So you have to create one cluster between these two things. Clusterization. That's it. Failover cluster we have to create. Next, again I have to install another PC. This is library server, and this is SCVMM server. This is a storage server, and this is a SCAC server. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These many servers have to work for one single purpose only, to create a private key. How many errors? How many times fallen? You know, I tried to install SCCM. I failed at least 4 times. Sixth time I successful. What times I failure? What is the fifth time it is? It is nothing, just one trial. Okay. So if you don't have a patience to learn, do, try, try. What you will do, Max? It will take time to reload the server manager anyway. But we don't require server manager. We need a tools and disk management. You can go to tools and a disk management. If you have a computer management here, you can go to computer management also. Otherwise you can search for a disk management, but it will take lot of time. Closing this one. Okay, I'm going to run directly. Okay, I put a full screen mode now, that's it. So I'm typing disk mgmt.msc. Okay, okay, like this. So disk 1, disk 2, disk 3, 100 GB, 100 GB, 100 GB. All are not initialized disk only. So I'm going to make it online first, because it's the first time it is. I'm making all the disk as online. Just I connected, right? So just I connected. So online, online, and online. Then one array go to online, it is offline symbol is gone. Not initialize. So for first disk I'm going to initialize, or all disk we can able to initialize also, no problem. Okay. So all disk are selected, 1, 2, 3. You can select GPT for everyone, no problem. MBR or GPT, no problem. Now all are become basic disk. It is an allocated condition. No need to create any disk space here, because we are creating volumes. Okay, like this: spanned volume, stripped volume, mirror, and write file. What is the spanned volume? Spanned volume, stripped volume are same, but span not comes under RAID. Spanned volume not considered as a RAID. Spanned volume also like a stripped, but regular or irregular sizes. These are same sizes. Okay, spanned irregular sizes. For example, I'm creating a new volume here. It is 20 GB free volume. It is now. Okay, 20 GB volume I created. This is 80 GB free space, and this is a 100 GB free space. I'm going to span volume. You can read what is the span volume here also, or you can write down what is the span volume. It's a made up of disk space and more than one disk. create a volume. If you want to, if you need a volume that too larger for your single disk, you can extend the span volume by adding free space from the other disk. Okay, you can add. I'm adding this one. I can add all the things also, no problem. Okay, I can add all the disks, no problem. Now it is 100 280, sorry, 280 single spanned volume you will get it, and it will throw a message like this, because these disks are basic disks. You must convert this disk to dynamic disk before you do it. Otherwise, if you click on OK, what will happen? Automatically, these are all automatically first convert into dynamic, then dynamic to, after dynamic it will convert into spanned volume. So irregular sizes we can able to add it. Irregular sizes only we can add it. 80, no, regular or irregular sizes we can add it. See, this is Z drive, Z drive, Z drive. So I created a spanned volume here. So like this, 280 GB space I created. 280 GB space I created. You can see the Z drive here. The Z drive is a 200 GB, 280 GB. I created, like you can combine two or more disk if you want. Next, I'm deleting this volume. So disk 3 side I'm deleting this volume. Okay, delete volume, and entire data will be data loss. But this is safe, but this is thing. And this is converted to basic, but this is not converted to basic automatically. If you observe, this is not converted to basic automatically. Why? Because if volume is existing, you can't convert into basic. So be careful on your physical machine. Never convert into dynamic. You can't convert it back without losing the data. So I deleting this volume also. Okay. So when that OK cancel will come up, right? So just read that one. So automatically become basic only. Next one is stripped volume. So before going to the stripped volume, I want to convert this thing into these two things, disk 1 and disk 2. Don't touch disk 0 because it contains operating system. If you convert, it is very danger. Disk 1 and disk 2 convert into dynamic disk. So I converted already in dynamic disk, so then it won't show that error. No problem. New stripped volume. Read the stripped volume. Next, adding like this. So I added 2 disks. You can add more disk also if you want it, or you can remove it. So both are 100 GB, 100 GB. Total disk space become 200 GB. Okay, if you take only 80 GB from it, or 40 GB, 40960, then in both the volumes it is taking that much only. You can see like this, quick format. If you take 40 GB from here, it will take 40 GB from here. Okay, but this is 60 GB, again still unallocated. You can create some separate also, but this volume combined, and it created a 80 GB single volume. Somewhere it will show this is a 80 GB volume F drive. Okay, so like that also you can do it. If you make for example F drive, you put a data in F drive. Getting full back pain. Okay, where is this? This is a 80 GB volume F drive, and keep the data, create some data or keep a data here. So better, actually copy paste of data is better. Okay, like I kept the data. Now can you see this is a F drive? Now what I'm going to do is I'm making one of disk as a offline, just offline only. Okay, I right click on disk 2, I make that one as a offline. It is showing failed, and I'm going to my F drive. Where is F drive? It is gone, because if one of the disk is failure, total data you can't access. This is also contain, maybe contain data, right? Like we can't able to access. So I make this one as a online. Maybe we will get a data back. But if you replace the one of the disk, you can't get the data back. Okay, so this one, and I can make is a 100 also, just to show not pure 100. You can take small one part from one drive, one part from another drive also. You can take it to show that one. Okay, next I delete a one volume, and it will delete both the volumes. Then it convert dynamic to basic directly, because we don't have any separate volumes, all are unallocated only. Next, RAID mirror. Okay, in a mirror we can take only disk, create a mirror volume if you want to keep two separate copies of all the information in private data loss, to prevent data loss. So 100. Okay, and now so I can't add a third disk. See, it is disabled. So it is asking here, because I didn't convert into dynamic. If I don't convert into dynamic, first it will convert into dynamic, and then it create a RAID. Okay, so this color represent it is a mirror volume. It is a mirror volume. This is 100 GB. This is 100 GB. The F drive is showing now 100 GB. 100 GB. Okay, and if you want to keep a data in this one, so this is F drive. You can keep any data in the F drive like this. Just for understanding mirrors, that's it. Okay, okay, so I put some data in F drive, and also you can see the F drive size is 100 GB only. So 100 plus 100 is equal to 100 only here. Okay, now if one of the disk is failure, means first disk or second disk. Okay, first disk in this one, so we'll choose first disk offline. Now failed redundancy, but I'm going to my F drive. See, F drive is still there. If I open the F drive, I can see my data. I can see the data, and also I can create a data. I can able to access the data also. So I created some data. Okay, still I can able to access the data, and also I can able to put some data in it. So I don't feel anything. But when redundancy failure, when it is this is working online, but this is become offline, right? So I'm adding again, I'm reactivating same volume on same disk only. I'm not replacing with a new disk. Just I'm online the same disk. What will happen? See, just online, it's showing a foreign, right click, import foreign disk, import a foreign disk, because it's showing foreign. Okay, data redundant, not redundant condition. Okay, so I am importing that one. Now it is split it into normal disk volume only. See, dynamic disk only. So this is F drive and this is become Z drive. Now I got a F drive and Z drive. Okay, both disks are there, separate disk, but mirror is broken. So this is F drive data, and I have a Z drive. So just I've made it offline only. That's it. Data is not corrupted. But if you see, it contains a old data. After redundancy failure, I created a new data. So that's why G drive and F drive has a different data, because after redundancy failure, I created remaining data. But Z drive has a their old data because I just make it as offline. It's not a new disk also. Okay, so this is it. So it automatically mirror broken. This is become F. This is become Z. Two volume, separate volume. Okay, so this is it. If you want to make it as a add a mirror type, like now you want to add a mirror kind of stuff, right click, add mirror, disk 3 is available, then you can put a disk 3 in it. Otherwise, F drive is initially it is working, Z drive is now it is came, then you can delete this G drive because F drive has the data. So Z drive has fallen, right? So now I'm going to F drive, add mirror, disk 1, add mirror, yes. Now mirror is again creating. So make sure like 2 days, 1 days is failure. You replace new disk. Again we have to add to mirror, new mirror array, this one, like we have to do it. One more is there, that is a RAID 5. So I will show the RAID 5 and close for today. I don't know how many are alive, died. It's going on, that's why it is taking time. It got freezed. Am I recording this one? Oh. I got a doubt myself. Okay, right, right. Yeah, it is got freezed. I thought it is done very beautifully, so then take time. Is it working at least now? What happened to this? This is working. Windows D, Windows D. Something happened. Only last practical. Cooperate, guy, cooperation, no cooperation, no operation, do operation or cooperation, alt control insert, alt control insert, alt control delete, it go to my physical machine. It's connecting is there, right? 18. 10 members gone in 1 hour. Shit. Restart it better. Instead of waiting, better to restart. Okay, guys, anybody having any doubts in a ride, please tell me now. Okay, so ride 0, ride 1, ride 5, kind of stuff. Ride 2, ride 3, ride 4, ride 7, ride 8, ride 9, like this. Rides are there, but not using in a real-time solution. This is only they created it in a research way, but they didn't find much enterprise solution wise. So they are not using the other ride levels. Okay, next. Ride 10, ride 50 is a combination of ride 1, ride 0 and ride 5, ride 0 combination. Like both will get it. It means mirror, 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 mirror and combination. So you can see in a PPT also. Okay. Actually, I have to tell that one. I jumped to that one. So tomorrow I will tell that one anyway. This is ride 10, ride 6, ride 10. Okay. Stripped between disk and a combination of two strips into one mirror. So why it is that much of slow to do? Close one by one. You have a lot of time. Just it is cooperate 5, 10, 5 minutes. Okay, tomorrow I will tell this syllabus part. Already I shared, I think so. Check it. Starting. Otherwise, I will share it again. If you don't find, also no problem. Again, disk management. Open. Meanwhile, server manager will open. Now everything is changed from here to here. That's why it is get column. um, F drive. These are error days. I'm going to delete this thing volume. This is a mirror volume. F drive completed. Disk 0, disk 1, disk 2. Here I'm going to create a RAID 5. RAID 5. A RAID 5 volume store data in a strips on a 3 or more disk. It provides a way of recovering disk if part of disk is lost. Next, so I'm adding another disk. I'm using here 3 disk. Okay, you can use more disk also, but we are using 3 disk. Next, quick finish. Convert into dynamic, yes. So first it will convert into dynamic and it will create a RAID file. Again, it is taking time. Let it take time. This again taking too much time. Let it